Hey guys, and welcome to downtown LA. In this episode, we're actually going to be visiting downtown Los Angeles. And yes, in downtown LA, there are a couple of really sketchy areas and other areas that are pretty cool. But for this video, we're actually going to be visiting the cultural area of Los Angeles, of downtown LA, where there are a lot of museums, theaters, opera houses, and really a lot of cultural things to visit. So let's explore. Downtown Los Angeles, or DTLA for short, is the central business district of Los Angeles, California. In addition, it contains a diverse residential area of some 85,000 people and home to over 500,000 jobs. Downtown LA is definitely the cultural epicenter of the West Coast and the ultimate destination for historic buildings, good food, live music, theater, and premier art galleries. Something that I really love about downtown LA is that there is so much art. Behind me, we actually have the Center Theater Group, which is a conglomerate of a bunch of different theaters that have a bunch of performances pretty much all year long. There's the Ahmanson Theatre, the Mark Taper Forum, and there's operas, live shows, musicals, so many different things to explore right here. So yes, if you're in downtown LA and you're wanting to catch a bit of theater, a bit of a live performance, come right here. Center Theater Group is a non-for-profit organization located in Los Angeles, California. It's one of the largest theater companies in the nation, programming subscription seasons year-round. The Mark Taper Forum is the 739-seat thrust stage named for real estate developer Mark Taper and bears an architectural resemblance to Carousel Theater at Disneyland, which was also designed by the same architect, Welton David Beckett. As for the Ahmanson Theatre, it was built as a result of a donation from Howard F. Ahmanson Sr. and was named for his second wife, businesswoman and philanthropist Carolyn Leonetti Ahmanson. If you're in downtown LA and you don't want to go see a live performance, but you're just walking in this area, well, it is worth coming to the Center Theater Group because, well, as you can tell, the plaza is really cool. There's a cool fountain, and at nights, oftentimes they actually have some food carts where you can get some food, get a drink, and if you are really lucky, you may actually even see a live performance. They have an outdoor stage, so it is really worth coming here just to enjoy it. And we are in California, and the weather usually is really beautiful, so just to enjoy the weather and enjoy the pleasant day, come here. In the same large plaza, we also have one of the halls of Los Angeles Music Center called Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, which is one of the 3 largest performing arts centers in the United States. Since the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra and Los Angeles Master Chorale have moved to the newly constructed Jazz and Disney Hall, the pavilion has become home of the Los Angeles Opera and Gloria Kaufman presents Dance at the Music Center. One thing I always love in busy cities is the fact that there still are parks, and downtown LA is no exception. There's Grant Park, which is a really cool little area. I love coming here, especially to look at the fountain. There's a really big fountain. Unfortunately, right now it's under maintenance. But usually it's a really beautiful fountain, and in the evenings usually it has colors, and it's just really cool. But at the same time, the park is still beautiful even without the fountain really functioning. There's a bunch of seats where you can just hang out, chill, enjoy the sun. And in the evenings sometimes they even have live performances, and there's just a lot of events that happen. And again, when you're in a crowded and crazy city like LA, whenever I see some place where you can actually enjoy nature, it's just so welcome. Grant Park is a 12-acre park located in the Civic Center of Los Angeles, California. First developed in 1966 as the Civic Center Mall with plazas, fountains, and a court of flags. It is designed to be pedestrian-friendly and connects Bunker Hill to the Civic Center. The park plans include tree-shaded sidewalks, drought-tolerant plants, an interactive fountain plaza, performance lawn and courtyards, plenty of streetlights, movable park furniture, and kiosks to encourage the walking and exploration of the area. Walking through downtown LA, it's without much of a surprise that a lot of locations have been used for films. And behind me, we actually have the City Hall, which is a really known building, well, because they've filmed so many movies in front of it, inside of it. It's a really known location, and it's also a really beautiful building. It's kind of more on the older side. It's existed since 1928, so it's almost 100 years old, and the architecture is really beautiful. But yes, many movies have been filmed here, from The Usual Suspects to Ocean's 8 to Chinatown, so classics, newer movies, all these things. So yes, if you're right here in downtown LA, check it out. It's really worth it. Los Angeles City Hall, completed in 1928, is the center of the government of the city of Los Angeles, California, and houses the mayor's office and the meeting chambers and offices of the Los Angeles City Council. The peak of the pyramid at the top of the building is an airplane beacon named in honor of Colonel Charles A. Lindbergh. In 1998, the building was closed during a total $135 million refurbishment, which also includes upgrading it so it could withstand a magnitude 8.2 earthquake, including permitting it to sway in a quake. I did promise you guys that downtown had a bunch of museums, and some of my favorite museums here in downtown are the Moca, and right in front of the Moca there's actually the Broad Museum, and both of these museums are actually contemporary art museums, so their art is very modern. One thing that I do like about both of these museums is that admission is free except for exhibitions. So yeah, sometimes there may be a waiting line because yeah, the admission is free, but it is cool museums to check out, and if you want to get some culture, that's really cool. And on a plus note, well, if you look, there's a sort of railing right there behind me. Well, under us, there's actually a tunnel, and that's one of the filming locations for the iconic movie, The Dark Knight. And yeah, once again, it proves that Los Angeles is full of filming locations. In downtown LA, the Moca and the Broad really do stand out as exceptional museums. The Broad was named for philanthropist Eli and Edith Broad, who financed the $150 million building which houses the Broad art collections. The building design is based on a concept entitled the Veil and the Vault. The veil is a porous envelope that wraps the whole building, filtering and transmitting daylight to the indoor space. The skin is made of 2,500 rhomboidal panels made in fiberglass reinforced concrete, supported by a 650-ton steel substructure. Whereas the Museum of Contemporary Art Los Angeles, or MoCA, is home to almost 5,000 artworks created since 1940 and is the only museum in Los Angeles devoted exclusively to contemporary art. Didn't I tell you guys that this was the location for Batman: The Dark Knight? It looks familiar, right? This is actually the scene where there's the Joker that's trying to free Two-Face from the Gotham Police Department, and then Batman comes to save the day. It's super epic and it looks super eerie, so I'm not going to stay here too long. One of the most impressive buildings here in downtown LA is actually the Disney Concert Hall, which is part of the Music Center and is actually home to the LA Philharmonic. And as you can tell, this building is really cool with its kind of really interesting design. Apparently this building was actually so bright when they first built it that they actually had to dull it down because it was reflecting the sun too much, and the buildings next door were saying that it was too hot from the reflection of the sun. But yeah, it is really cool, and you can actually walk through it and you almost feel like you're in a futuristic place, in a futuristic LA. The Walt Disney Concert Hall is the fourth hall of the Los Angeles Music Center and was designed by Frank Gehry. It opened on October 24, 2003 and seats 2,265 people. The Disney Concert Hall is the home of the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra and the Los Angeles Master Chorale. The hall is a compromise between a vineyard-style seating configuration, like the Berliner Philharmonic, and a classic shoebox design. And yes, one of the perks of actually coming to the Disney Concert Hall is the fact that you can walk through basically all these futuristic style corridors, and I really love looking at them because it really does feel like a sculpture, or that you're maybe in a futuristic LA. But yes, if you're ever here for a concert or just simply strolling through downtown LA, do come through these hallways. They actually even lead to a sort of like little public park, and it's really quiet. It almost feels like you're not in the city, but at the same time you're in the city and you're in the future. So yeah, it's really worth the detour. Well, that's it. This concludes my tour of downtown LA and the cool little cultural districts with all the nice museums and a couple of theaters. I really hope that you guys enjoyed coming on this tour with me. Honestly, downtown LA is pretty big, and doing everything in one video would be kind of hard, so that's why I'm kind of trying to break it down into a bunch of little videos and showing little districts here and there. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, well, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment too, and let me know what other areas in downtown LA you'd like me to actually go visit, or if there's something that I missed. As I said, we're going to be doing more videos about this area, but in the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.